My name is Iwalola Akinjimo, and I work for Youth Empowerment Foundation in Nigeria. Youth Empowerment Foundation is a youth-focused organization dedicated to empowering young people in Nigeria through programs in health, livelihood, sports, education, and leadership. Our vision is to ensure that we have a proactive youth population with skills for positive change, and our mission is to empower youth through strategic partnerships and impactful programs. One of the key programs that we started working on in the last, let's say, 8 months is the menstrual health hygiene management project that we're implementing in partnership with Mango Partners. And this project basically is to ensure that young women and communities have access to adequate information on menstrual hygiene management. We want to break the silence around menstruation. We want a situation where young girls and young women alike and everybody in the community, irrespective of where you are, whether you're in the school or we're in the church or you're in the mosque, you're in the market, you have access to not only information, but a place where you can adequately access hygiene facilities and watch facilities so that you're comfortable when you're having your menstruation and you feel good to go out when you're having your menstruation.
Of course, of course. All right, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, and of course, we'll be doing this together. And I'm super excited because this is coming just few days to the World Menstrual Hygiene Awareness Day. So it's only proper that we get to talk about this and we get to keep bringing up the issues that every girl must have faced or is facing presently, or trying to protect even young girls too from facing some of these issues that we get to talk about every day. So yeah, it's definitely timely, and I would say that talking about issues surrounding menstrual hygiene, we can overemphasize it because this is something that it has come to stay, and it's not like we begged for it, but it's just part of us. So I mean, it's only proper that we get to find better ways to take care of ourselves, our environment, and just keep the health check going. So yeah, it's definitely timely, and I'm excited about this.
Thank you, Rose. And the specific objectives of the reason why we're doing the project is to improve understanding on the root causes of poor menstrual hygiene management. We also want to strengthen the capacity of, like I mentioned, girls and even boys alike, so that we can break the silence and also address various cultural and religious myths on
Yeah.
menstruation. We want to raise public awareness to empower young girls and break the taboo on menstrual hygiene
Hmm.
management. And one key aspect of the project is to advocate for improved access to gender segregated and girl friendly toilets. And the reason why we know that this is very important is because we conducted a baseline research
Hmm.
and we went into about 31 schools in Lagos and
Wow.
about 10 communities to go and look at various toilet facilities in markets, in churches, in mosques, and in schools
Hmm.
across two districts, specifically District 6 in Lagos. And one of the things we found out was that 80% of the toilet facilities were not did not have enough privacy for girls,
Wow.
did not have enough privacy for young women,
Hmm.
and in some of those facilities there's no water running, and in some facilities the toilets were not segregated according to gender, in which case you have
Hmm.
facilities that are for men only
Yeah.
and facilities that are for women only. And another problem we've identified, which cuts across, is the fact that menstrual hygiene products, specifically
Hmm.
sanitary towels, are very, very
Very
expensive.
expensive.
And you look at a situation where probably you need about 1,500 to buy one
Mm-hmm.
in a month,
A
and you have
month.
three girls
Mm-hmm.
that are using it in a family, so that's 4,500, and so a lot of families cannot afford
They
this.
can't.
And so we're also looking at situations where girls can learn how to produce their own menstrual hygiene
Product.
products so
Hmm.
that they can use it. After all,
Yeah.
a lot of our mothers
Mhm.
sanitary towels
I was going to say that. So
when
yeah.
they were growing up, and
Mm.
so they had ways of between this and in a very neat way,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can continuously maintain hygiene during their menstruation.
Yeah.
And so we're going to also, as a matter of fact, about 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
just before the schools resumed in Lagos State, we brought together some young girls across District 4 schools
Hmm.
and taught them how to make menstrual hygiene products
Wow.
using clothes and
Mm.
materials that are so they can produce it in a very hygienic way
Mm-hmm.
and use it and keep it. And after training them, we also gave them the resources to go back into and
Hmm.
also train
Train
their
others.
peers,
Yeah.
so that back and forth like that, you find out that a lot of girls will learn how to even
Hmm.
make their own products and keep them in a very hygienic way.
Yeah, I think that's very good and really innovative, because right now the economy is not smiling on anybody. I mean,
At
people are
all.
just struggling to eat. Everybody's just trying to see how, oh, let me find something to eat. Let me give my family something to eat. So imagine a man who has 4 girls or 5 girls, and
Exactly.
all of them are probably still in school, primary school, secondary school, and they're going through this. Or you're struggling to send your daughter who is in the university just some pocket change to keep, and she's thinking, where am I going to get my sanitary products from? And this is definitely nice, because I'm sure that for those students that the young girls that were able to learn this, they would also go back and replicate it with their sisters, to even their moms, and then their moms get to
Exactly.
teach maybe other women from other communities, so it just gets to spread.
Yes, exactly. And one of the key things we also found out during the formative research was that I mean, people don't really have conversations on menstruation.
Mm.
Even sometimes it's difficult for some mothers to tell their daughters
Yeah.
about menstruation, not to talk of fathers now talking to
Mm-hmm.
their daughters about
Mm-hmm.
menstruation. And so one of the things we did was, from the formative research, looking at the gaps that were identified, we
Yeah.
developed a training manual. And this training manual, after developing it, what we did, we identified volunteers who stay close to some of the schools that we've selected
Hmm.
and train them on how to use the manuals, and who will now go back
Go
into
back.
those schools
Yeah.
and train selected girls and even boys. Because one of the interesting enough is that
Hmm.
you find out that some of the girls even talk about the fact that they don't feel comfortable when they're having their menstruation, not only because of the fact that the toilets are not
Mm-hmm.
conducive for menstruation, but also because some of their peers who are boys
Hmm.
don't really understand what
Understand
they're
what's
going through,
going
and they don't
through.
understand what menstruation is about.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're training 2,550 young people, and
Hmm.
out of these, 390 of them are
A
boys,
boy, so.
so that they know also about
Mm-hmm.
about menstruation and understand what their sisters, what their peers, and what their mothers go
Go
through when they
through.
have menstruation.
Yeah.
And I think this is also something very unique about it, because you find out that even the boys are embracing the information.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as if they're feeling bad that, oh, some teachers or some volunteers are coming to the school to talk to us about menstruation, but
Yeah.
rather they're listening and they're
Carried
getting
along.
the information, which
Yeah,
for us
that's
is a
that's
is a plus.
that's really
And when
interesting.
these children are trained,
Mm.
they're also given targets to also reach out to their peers, because there's a limit to how many people we can train
Yes, of
directly.
course.
So we train them as trainers who now go back and give the information to their peers, not
Mm.
only in schools but also at the
In
community
community
level.
level, yeah, that's definitely applaudable. Because gone are those days when you would see, well, up to now, I don't know, but when I was in school, once a lady or once a young girl is having a menstrual period, it's more like the guys are having fun, or maybe they're making fun of her, making
Hmm.
making some sort
Absolutely.
of funny remarks about it. And that's because they only understand it as a maybe a topic in biology. So they
Not
might not
necessarily
not
part of life. You're
yes,
right.
not a life process. They just understand it as, oh, it's something that is a girl problem. It's something that just happens to a girl, because that's what biology gets to tell you. But going beyond that, bringing them into the picture now, they're able to understand that this is part of life process. I mean,
Exactly.
if she didn't do this, there's no way that you will even be old enough to get to the age where you are.
Exactly. You
So
wouldn't have been conceived.
exactly, so you wouldn't even be at the place where you are. So it's good that they're able to understand it, and to a very large extent, they themselves, as trainers that you have trained them to be, they would also go back and say, okay, hey, mom, instead of spending money buying these things for my sister, can we just do this?
Hmm.
And go back to their communities or go back to their religious places. So instead of, can we all save money? Let's do it this way. Let's try it this way. And then they are carried along, and trust me, that would do something to their psychic too, even when they get married and they're having their own families
Exactly,
too.
and so they're more open to having
Yeah.
conversations. And one of the key things that we're also doing apart from the work in the school and at the community level is what we're doing now,
Mm-hmm.
which is to give out accurate information.
Information.
And so this is the first episode, but a lot of people are coming in. Doctors will come in, endline users will come in, who will come and share their experiences, because there's so many things tied to menstruation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just even about the hygiene. So sometimes some will ask us, "Oh, my daughter is this age and has not started menstruation," or my menstruation is lasting for 7, 8 days. So we have technical people, experts in the field, who will
Yeah.
come in and talk about various aspects of menstruation,
Hmm.
so that people can call in and ask questions that are very close to their heart,
Yeah.
and have some of these things addressed during this program. So that is one thing that we're very, very excited about. The fact that, okay, so now we have this gap that we've identified in the baseline,
Mhm.
we've identified during the research, and we have people who will come in and talk to different aspects of this project.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of the ways where you get to reach a lot of people and spread information. So I'm also excited about this because it's one thing to have information, it's one thing to have the right information to spread
Exactly.
around. So a lot of people know, okay, menstruation this, they know that. Oh, and then sometimes you could know things, but know the wrong things.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
it's good that these conversations are coming up and it's coming on radio so that you actually learn to unlearn and you get to relearn also. There are a lot of myths, like you mentioned, out there as regards menstruation, because it will shock you that a lot of people believe some things that probably have come up from society, have come up from culture, backgrounds and all of that as regards to menstruation. So they don't even know any better, not
Exactly.
because they don't want to know, but they don't even have the right information.
Hmm.
So it's good that this is, I'm here and a lot of people get to listen and they get to learn. And any question at all you have as regards to menstruation, as regards to when it comes to that part of it, I mean, you can always reach out here and we'll definitely get to answer your questions.
I think that's one key thing. Then one of the gaps we also identify is that a lot of young girls actually start their periods without having any information. I recall that in
Mm,
this one of the schools we went to, some of the girls actually feel that they have wounds inside that are
my
bleeding, and
goodness.
so that gap is being breached through the
Mm,
outreaches in school and at the community level. But one key aspect that we're looking at also addressing is letting communities know and corporate organizations also know where there are gaps. And the
mm,
reason why I say this is because, yes, government quite a lot of investment in schools, making sure teachers are there, they're trained, and the environment is conducive. But at the same time, there are gaps, huge gaps.
yeah.
So, for example, like I said, when we went into some of the toilets, not only the schools, even at in markets, you find out
Mm,
that water is not running. So, what we're looking at is even getting individuals to buy into
mm-hmm.
renovating some of these toilet
Yeah.
facilities, ensuring that there is water. And interestingly, just last week, today is Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
it was this week, Tuesday to be precise,
Yeah.
one of the schools, Surulere Junior Secondary School in Empire Side, that's Chibowu, was actually renovated by a family.
Mm,
There did be a family, and
mm.
they invested and ensured that the toilets were conducive. They tiled the floors, ensure water was running, and they did so much to ensure. And that is just one
One
family.
family.
And so imagine people who can afford picking on a school and adopting a school to
Mm.
ensure that water is running, there's privacy. And not only is there privacy for both boys, there's also privacy
For
for girls.
girls.
But then one key set of people that we leave behind is people who have challenges. And also
Disability
ensuring that, those toilet facilities are accessible
to
for those who
them.
have challenges in
Mm.
terms of, it could be physical challenges, it could be visual impairment, that they
Yes.
have access to these facilities, because this is something we really, really tend to forget, that
Mm.
we need to make. And not only, but when you go into markets, churches, and mosques, also making sure that those facilities are accessible for the elderly, because we went into a market and discovered that not only was there no privacy, but then
Mm-hmm.
elderly people cannot and will not be able to use some of those facilities there
Mm.
because it's the old ancient pit latrine form of.
Yeah.
And so when you see people within those markets, how are they comfortable using some
Hmm.
of those facilities even when they have to? So all these are key issues that we hope and that people will invest in and know that, oh, instead of just closing the road when you're having your party or
Hmm.
spending millions of naira burying
There's
people
a
and
lot
doing
one
marriage,
can
you can
do.
invest some of these resources
Hmm.
into ensuring that facilities in schools, in markets, at the community level are accessible and that there's water running and there's privacy.
Privacy. All right. For me, most times when I'm here on air, I just say, um, we can't leave everything for the government to do.
Absolutely.
We all have a part to play. So that's just one family who has done something. So imagine how many families around here in Aripo. Look at the community schools that we have, both the primary and the secondary,
Hmm.
school of it. There are a lot of people around here who can come together and say, you know what, can we just renovate, the restrooms? Can we renovate one class at a time? Can we do something? All right. Can we provide sanitary towels for the girls in the
Can we
school?
even ensure that there's
Yeah,
recreation for the children because they
exactly.
have a lot of energy
Can we
and is
just give them running water, and all of that? So there are little things that we can do from, in our corners to make sure that these things actually work.
exactly. And we hope that with this program, we'll be able to get the information out
Hmm.
and let people know that, oh, this is a problem that we really
Me
have to
too.
address.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hopefully, we get to achieve all we need to achieve with this program because this is definitely one that is very timely, and it should be able to get everyone thinking. What can you do? Because I mean, sometimes the answers are just in our fingertips. We just need to look at what's going on. We all have a gap to fill. We all have that place that we can do better. Well, yours might not just be in terms of what we're actually trying to address here, menstrual hygiene and all. There could be other things too that you could just try your hands on and get on it. But at the end of the day, we are trying to see that, we draw your attention to this and to see that, yeah, there are a lot of things that you can do as regards to, the menstrual hygiene for
And and
ladies.
and and just as a way of wrapping up, I
Mm,
think the key thing is to listen
yeah.
to this program, and it is every Thursday
Thursday, 4:30 to 5.
4:30 to 5, and you'll be learning a lot not
Mm,
only about menstruation but about hygiene and about
mm.
the health of women.
True, true. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So I think that's where we'll wrap it up for today. And hopefully, you get to join us in our subsequent episodes. By every Thursday, we'll be here, God's willing, from 4:30 to 5. But we'll get to talk about different aspects of, woman's hygiene, menstrual hygiene, and, all you basically need to know about that. So here's where you get the right information.
Exactly.
This is where you get the right information. And this is Women Radio WFM 91.7, Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. Yeah. So,
And my name is Iwalola Akinjimo from Youth Empowerment Foundation. And this project is implemented in partnership with Mangrove and Partners. And we appreciate Women FM for giving us the time to come
yeah.
online. And we hope that we'll be able to achieve a lot in this engagement.
All right. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Do well to keep your dialogue to Women Radio WFM 91.7. Don't forget, keep it a date with us next week, Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We'll be here, God's willing. Have a great evening.
WFM 91.7. Finna put you on trip. On me when I drunk, I'm relying on myself. Bitch, I love drive me crazy, it's not for my health. So I'm a genie, all the burgers in my bed. Cause I need something that will drive me to my God. Baby, are you sure that you want? Baby, are you sure you want? Cause this feeling got me there. And I don't want to share you with nobody. Baby, are you sure that you want? Baby, are you sure you want? Cause this feeling